Hey, welcome everybody. This is our very first YouTube live broadcast. It's July 19th, 2017. My name is Isabelle Martin. I'm the founder of the Gemstone Therapy Institute and Gem Formulas, and I am super stoked to be here with you all. Please feel free to let me know in the chat box if you're there. First name would be great. Where you're from would be awesome. So we can get to know just who's with us here today. This is a Q&A. I've got several questions already, but you're also welcome to type in more if you'd like. That's absolutely fine. If my voice holds up, that would be even better. So we're rooting for that as well. I've got plenty of support. And plus my husband made me some tea and I got water, and so I'm all ready to go. So welcome Alice from England. Wow. And we've got Susan from Iowa. Okay, welcome. And of course this broadcast will be visible later on. So other people will be able to watch it too. Got Ryan from Connecticut. Elizabeth from New York. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Ryan. Marjorie, please tell us what necklaces you're wearing. All right, so first I've got on emerald white beryl, and I'm wearing this because emerald has a detoxification effect, and my body's needing that right now. I have two versions of my ally. My ally helps to balance and harmonize your body with any foreign, well, we might say infectious critters that might be trying to find harmony with me as the host here. So we're trying to work that out. And then I'm also wearing the red spinel with pink spinel. And the reason I'm wearing this is because I have found personally that this is a really powerful physical healing necklace. The way it energizes the mitochondria and brings in the far infrared into the body. That's a very healing part of the electromagnetic spectrum. And the mitochondria do a lot more than just bring, as we learned in grade school, the powerhouse of the cell. They play a big role in our metabolism. So these are all my allies today. And interesting playing with two of the same necklace, because what I'm finding is that not only are they giving me double the effect, but also amplifying the two. They sort of bounce off each other. Very similar to the double helix effect that we also play with in some of the necklaces. But today I'm experimenting with just wearing the two separately like this. Okay. Another question just came in. Briefly discuss the benefits of onyx and ruby bracelet. I've ordered one from your website. Well, thank you so much for trusting us and our stones. The ruby and onyx is a grounding, especially stone. Now, we can say that a lot of stones are grounding, but what's particular about the onyx type of grounding is that it has a settling type of grounding. So that means that not only does it help you connect with the earth, which is what grounding technically does, and any gemstone can do that, but it's that settling effect, like just bringing your energies down, and then the ruby helping to take those energies and move them forward. So that's a big effect you're going to get with a ruby onyx. Ruby onyx can also help you to strengthen your personal vortex. So briefly, the personal vortex is our way of saying that in a healthy body, your aura, that energy field that surrounds you, is not static. It should move like the jet stream moves around the earth, except not like the earth. We don't want it to create so many storms and weather patterns like the earth gets. And although that does happen when our personal vortex isn't moving evenly. So another thing that Ruby Onyx can do is help to make your personal vortex or support it to move evenly around your field. So how do you know which way it's moving? With a bracelet or a necklace, you put it on the ground at your feet with a ruby on your midline, and you stand with your feet apart over the necklace and kind of just hold your hands like this. And then you'll begin to notice it might take a little longer with a bracelet, but just give it time. You'll notice that there's a certain tendency to go left or right. If you keep your eyes closed and then open them, you might realize, oh my gosh, I moved a little bit to my left. It looks to you like I moved to my right because I'm not mirroring. But this is the way my energy field is moving. It's going like this. So if my energy field has a tendency to go like this, I would wear the Ruby Onyx bracelet on my left hand. To you, it looks like my right hand, but it's really my left hand, see? Because that will support the movement from right to left. Okay. Hi, Garrett from the West Coast. Oh, I love Vancouver Island. It is paradise on Earth. We have a lot of paradises on Earth, but that's certainly one of them. Hi, Isabelle. Can I attach a bracelet to a necklace and wear it as a necklace, such as adding a white beryl turquoise to a bloodstone red spinel? Bloodstone red coral. Yes, you can. In fact, we've just been experimenting with doing that, and go for it. Absolutely. Mix and match. In fact, this is an excellent segue into one of the questions. Let's see, which one is it? Oh, yeah. So sweet, dear Isa. I know how important the symbiotic gem is in your gem formula's design, and I wonder how best to explain this to energy-sensitive people who find that wearing gemstone necklaces challenging. I have a client who could only wear citrine after wearing it in a pocket for several months, and she comments that she can never wear more than one necklace. However, her entire collection consists of necklaces that have only one stone. They don't have symbiotics. So she's even a bit afraid of gemstone therapy because of her sensitivity. Oh my gosh, that is such a good question because it points to the fundamental principle of gemstone therapy as I've learned it. Yes, in the beginning, I admit I espoused the single gemstone necklaces, but my understanding and the work that I've been doing in these last 8 years has actually catapulted me into a whole new understanding of gemstones and how they work. And what I have learned, life is based on relationships, good relationships. And that is true on the whole body level, just in your life in general. You need relationships with your family, with your friends, with your coworkers. Good relationships are going to get you far. In your body, your cells need to have a good relationship with each other to function. Your organs need to talk to each other. Your body parts need to work in harmony. Your left side, your right side, left side of your, let's see, what's my left, what's my right? Well, both sides of your brain have to work together in order to function, for you to function properly. Both eyes have to be in cooperation. So when we wear gemstones that have their partners, their symbiotic stones, or that stone that will either support, catalyze, or strengthen the effects of the primary gem, we're teaching our body about relationship. We're also teaching it about a fundamental principle in Chinese medicine, which is the yin and the yang. And I'm not going to go into that, but if you have any familiarity with the yin and the yang, that is the fundamental basis of good relationship. So there's that, and there's flows. Flows are so important. If your energy isn't flowing, honey, you're not alive. So it's so important to keep energy moving. Really, really important. When you wear a necklace that does not have a symbiotic stone, yes, there's going to be a radiation of that or a broadcasting of that gemstone energy into your field. But what I found is that the return is not so great if you have any blockages at all regarding the functionality that the necklace is involved with that gemstone. So in the case of citrine, if there are any blockages that have to do with citrine, energy is not going to move. It's going to get stuck. And it can be claustrophobic. It can be destabilizing. So a person who is hypersensitive, who's feeling apprehensive about working with a necklace that has just a single stone in it, well, yeah, because there's a part of them that knows that if I work with that kind of necklace, I can shut down, I can do more harm than good. I realize that's a really powerful statement, but when you're looking at it from the viewpoint of how the energies are moving, that's what can happen. Now, it won't happen to everyone, but if you have a blockage associated with the function of that necklace, yes, it can happen. So when sensitive people, and I'm an example, because when I worked with single gemstone necklaces way back in the late 1980s and early 1990s, I was not able to wear them. And I kind of felt a little hypocritical because I was writing about them, talking about them, but I couldn't use them. But here I am, I'm wearing, what am I wearing? 4? And I have been known to wear more when I need to, when my body needs that extra support, and when there's a purpose for each one that I'm working with. So yeah, once the sensitive people is, well, I'm getting a message here. Do I have to do anything? Okay. Oh, so we're good? All right, sorry. Once sensitive people, their body gets to know and open itself to a symbiotic necklace, they're going to realize, wow, here's a source of support and protection that I never knew possible. So I hope that one day that this individual will feel comfortable enough to work with a symbiotic necklace and be able to truly receive the benefits that is available to her or that are available to her. Oh, here's a really good question. Can gemstones that we wear affect people around us? So when I wear a gemstone that helps me be more of who I am, maybe smooths my rough edges a little bit, boy, is my husband happy. Yes, they do, but it's maybe not the way that you think, because the gemstones are in my energy field. As they make me a better person, then the people around me will respond to me better because I'm being more true to who I am. I may not be as grumpy or whatever. And so, yeah, in that way. However, when two partners choose to wear necklaces together as a partnership in order to support their partnership, yes, those necklaces can work together and do wonderful things for the togetherness of that coupledom of that relationship. And if, as a mom, if I were to wear a necklace with the intention of helping my child who isn't old enough to wear a necklace, who isn't old enough to ask permission, an infant, yes, because that infant is in my field, maybe holding that child when they're sick. I do believe so strongly, though, in the sacredness of the individual that when a child is old enough to know what the necklaces are and how to wear them, let them have their own, if you can trust them in the time when they can be wearing them. Yeah. Okay. Help others by helping yourself. Okay, let's see. Dumortierite. Dumortierite is a beautiful dark blue gemstone, and what we have found is that it tends to work with along with carnelian, on the circulatory system, in strengthening the circulatory system. And what tends to happen is that the demortuorite focuses on the vessel walls, whereas the carnelian will help move the blood and the rhythm, not just the heart's rhythm, but the life energy rhythm of the blood. So, yeah. It's a beautiful stone. Very beautiful. It tends to move energy up the body. Do your clients fall asleep on the table? Well, sometimes I get to be a client, and what I can report for myself is that I'll go into a deep kind of state, and yet I look like I'm sleeping. I kind of probably feel like I'm sleeping, and yet unlike the sleep state, I am hyper alert when the practitioner starts taking the necklaces off or asks me a question. Suddenly I'm hyper alert. So I don't really think that's the sleep state. Yes, I have had some clients that I'm sure fall asleep because they start snoring. But I think there are other deeper brainwave states that I can't wait to study. If any of you have any ideas of how we can study the brain waves during a gemstone therapy session, I'm sure people go into a much deeper state than that. Yeah. And there was another, oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let me go back to this. We'll go back and forth. Okay. I want to take turns between what people have already asked. Could Isabelle please explain the benefits of getting a lower quality diamond now versus saving up for a higher quality one in the future? Okay, so diamond calls to you. Diamond represents and is a metaphor and works with the blueprints. The blueprints are your inherent instructions of how to heal, of what your life is about, where to go, why you're here. Okay? So when you're in touch with your blueprints, your life starts aligning itself toward, you might say, your North Star. Your body starts remembering how to function better, more like it's supposed to. It starts remembering how to shine, how to move energy, how to be the life flowing person that you really are. So if you feel called to a diamond, even if it's a small one, and you feel like answering that call, if you're moved to do that, it might be because your blueprints want a little bit of help to align your life so that you can maybe one day get the larger one. So if you feel called, listen, at least learn a little bit more about the diamond. It's good stuff. Okay. So, this is a good question. Could Isabelle speak to using gemstone therapy inwardly? I've often visualized the mandalas, we use gemstone mandalas in our work, when I don't have the sprays, or visualize a necklace I might not have. Having worked with Isabelle privately and on teleconferences, it is obvious that using the inner gemstones is extremely powerful, especially when financial resources are limited for their physical counterparts. I sometimes just ask what is showing up and assume Spirit is providing the combination of stones that is right for me. I would love to hear any thoughts about working inwardly for self-healing. I am so glad you asked that, because the earth belongs to everyone. The gifts of the earth are available to you all. So if you are able to open yourself to receiving, especially Plant your feet on the floor, both feet on the floor, and allow your energy to settle. Get a good connection with the ground, the floor, and then let that energy grow roots down. Even if you're on the 20th floor, go all the way down. Space is almost immaterial. You're right there on the ground, growing roots into the earth. And once you feel like you've extended yourself down into the earth, give the earth some gratitude. Send some gratitude down too. And then ask the earth to give you what you need in this moment. And then feel the return flow. Call in some demorturite if you want to. And just feel that energy again moving up. Then notice how you feel. And you can practice this. You can practice this. So that's one way to receive the earth energy. Another way, and I think what this individual is talking about, is that he visualizes and they sort of come inwardly to him. He just reaches out and asks, and here they come. Yeah, asking is an important part, and here they come. Absolutely, go for it. I do want to contrast that with the idea that, well, here's demorturite. I think I know what demorturite is. I see it. I've heard what it does. I've read what it does. Now let me call some in because I'm gonna work with it on someone. Well, the thing is, or on myself, the thing is, your mind only has a small part of what demorturite can do. It's not until you've actually experienced the physical stones themselves that your body learns the full capacity of a particular gemstone. Then once it does that, then you can call it in because your body knows what it is. And that's one of the benefits of coming live to one of our retreats, our Gemstone Therapy retreats or workshops. We let you borrow whatever you'd like and wear it so that you can really learn the stone. And we do that because we are that confident in our clearing sprays that we can completely clear a gemstone at all levels so that the next person who uses it will have a completely clear tool to work with. So yeah, that's a really good question. Okay, let's take one. There's a question about ametrine. Ametrine is a purple and yellow stone. It's actually partly amethyst, partly citrine. And the difference is just I don't want to get too technical here, but they're both iron they're different forms of iron that will make quartz amethyst versus make it citrine. I don't work with it, and I'll say yet because you never know what's going to happen, but I haven't really worked with that stone yet, but it's very interesting. Okay. Can gemstones help with things like clinical depression? If so, what would you recommend? Here, I would direct you to a gemstone therapy practitioner, and we have several listed on our website. We may even have some here on the call tonight. Because in the level 2 training, our students are taught how to work with something called microvortexes. And this has to do with chakra anatomy. I don't want to get too technical here, but I think most people understand that we have 7 chakras. And what I have learned, what the gemstones have shown me, is that the chakra itself starts at the skin, and a healthy chakra will extend out in a V-shaped vortex and extend all the way out to the outer edge of the aura in a V-shape. Well, there's also heaven energy that comes in from above, earth energy that comes in from below through a central channel. And in that channel, which doesn't really line up with the spine, there's really no physical correlation to the central channel, the central chakra channel, but that heaven and earth energy comes in, and it's very high voltage. And that microvortex comes from the intelligence center that takes the heaven and earth energy, mixes it into the perfect recipe of food to feed a chakra. The chakra. Let's say, here, I got my throat chakra here. So here's my skin, right? The chakra vortex extends in the vortex, big vortex out here. But between the intelligence center and my skin, inside my body, there's a microvortex. And that microvortex is like a transformer. It takes that high voltage, like the electricity in the lines outside your home. You have a transformer in your home that transforms that into, at least in the States, the 110, 220 that you can then use for your microwave or your lights, your computers, refrigerator, and so forth. So the microvortex reduces the high voltage heaven and earth energy into something that we can use. That's a really important anatomy. And what we found is that when it separates from the skin, from the macrovortex, that's when trouble can start. That's when people can start self-doubting because they're no longer connected with their source energy, the heaven and earth energy. And when this starts happening in more than one chakra, that's the precursor. And what we have found is that, this is just by trial and error, and just observing and testing a lot of people, that when that microvortex starts moving down and gets completely down, then there's really trouble. And when this downward state happens in more than one vortex, then we ask our client, and we're just doing a regular chakra evaluation, and we ask our client, are you experiencing any feelings of sadness or depression? They say yes. And so we've been able to correlate this downward, call it a downward spiral condition, this downward microvortex with those feelings. And so the level 2 practitioners, our full practitioners, they have a way to correct that. And the tools that they use are the Chakra Guardian, which is tanzanite, white beryl, blue sapphire. That's our vitalizing, the gemstones that help vitalize the chakras, and the Rising Light design, which is chrysoprase, pink sapphire, and freshwater pearl. It's called Rising Light. And the way our website is set up, we're having relationship issues with our search function. So if you want to look at these necklaces, you have to either type in Chakra Guardian in our search or Rising Light in our search, and you'll see the necklaces. So anyway, when we're able to correct the connection between the microvortex and the macrovortex, people feel a lot better. Without a connection with a gemstone practitioner who can support you with that, wearing the necklaces can be very helpful. Yeah, especially the Rising Light. If you only do one, wear the Rising Light. Which gemstones do you recommend for ADD, ADHD? Okay, so what we have found, remember I told you about the central channel? Well, ideally that central channel should be nice and even. And should be about maybe 4 to 6 inches in diameter. Some people normally maybe a little bigger, sometimes normally maybe a little smaller, but somewhere in that range. Okay. So what we're finding is that people who have ADD, their central channel is way off. Sometimes it's really wide overhead and then almost constricted in some places, but it is extraordinarily misshapen. And I don't know yet if there is a one particular gemstone that we would suggest for that, but I do know that your gemstone practitioners will have a technique to be able to take care of that. Yeah, to work with that. I do know that it's something that has to be repeated a few times over maybe once a month, over several months, to keep that central channel in check, so the energies can move more evenly. So, okay, let's see. What type of gemstones do you recommend for those on a budget? The ones that you can comfortably afford. You know, use a bracelet. Work with them first, and it's important that you honor yourself. Okay, that's really important. And if the budget is restrictive, you've got to work within what's comfortable for you. Work with that technique about just connecting with the earth and receiving the earth energies. They're free. Earth energies, we're connected with them. That's really important. Okay. We also have the sprays. Let's see, I've got, let's pull a couple here from my shelf. Here's our extra strength energy clearing spray. Here's a picture of a mandala I talked about. This is a more complex mandala that we impart into the sprays. This is the energy clearing mandala. And we also have that down. So the gemstones are imparted into the sprays. You can spray yourself and receive those gemstone energies. And this goes to another question. The reason that you're able to receive the energies from the sprays is that gemstones are made of elements, as we all are, but very simple elements. Quartz, silicon and oxygen. Amethyst, silicon, oxygen, and iron. Okay, really simple elements. And the body needs elements. When we eat, we get a big conglomeration of all different kinds of elements that the body has to take apart. So when you use the gemstones or the sprays and they radiate in your field, easy nutrition. The other thing to make that make logical sense is that we know we're not just a physical body. There's more to us than just physical matter. There's an energetic part of us. And it's that energetic part of us that receives the gemstone energies. It's the gemstone. We have the physical stone and a physical body, right? My physical body isn't going to eat the gemstones. But the common denominator is the energies of the stones and the energies of my body recognize each other. And they're hardwired to recognize each other because they're of the earth. And the earth gives us everything we need for our health. Air, food, water, herbs for medicine, gemstones for energy medicine to help with our physical part of us. Oh my gosh, so many questions. Let's see. Are bracelets as effective as necklaces? No. That's the short answer. A necklace is able to wrap around your neck, is radiating throughout your field. And that's a huge benefit because it spreads throughout your body evenly. A bracelet is going to be feeding you, but it's going to be more on the side of your body that you're wearing it. So yeah, change sides. When I wear very often, I'll wear my jade. That's one of my favorite necklaces. I wear it almost all the time. Just didn't want to come in today, but I'll wrap it 3 times around my wrist. Most of the time it wants to be on my left wrist, but sometimes it will go on my right wrist. Yeah. So, right. And thank you, Deborah. She says, if you're on a budget, the gemandalas work for those on a budget after taking a class or workshop. Yeah, right. The gemstone, the introductory we call it Gemstone 101 workshop, which Deborah's holding in Denver very shortly. Go ahead, Deborah, write down when and where you're holding it. Deborah's an awesome instructor. And she's going to, during the workshop, she's going to show you how to use single spheres to make simple mandalas, custom mandalas that you can apply to yourself or to your family and they're customized. So that's also a really, I mean, so far as getting bang for your buck, the custom mandalas are the way to go. If you're interested in gemstone therapy, but you're on a budget. Onyx and ruby for anxiety. In that, yes, it will help settle your energies. You might try that, absolutely. Can too many gemstones together, like in a gemstone shop, cause problematic or clashing energies? Okay, let's talk about this, because I have another question that's kind of related to that. Hang on a sec. Oh, I've got my tea here. Yay, my voice is holding up. Haha. Okay, that's over here. And so the other question that kind of pairs with it is, should we cover our gemstones when not in use? Let me just show you a second. Over here, I've got trays, and that's where I keep all my stones in trays, and they're behind glass. So yes, I think you should keep them covered to keep the dust off of them, absolutely. But if you're in a gemstone shop and you have lots of stones in your shop, or you're visiting a gemstone shop, yeah, that can be a little overwhelming if you're visiting, you're not used to it. And the shopkeeper, well, you've collected those over time and you've become acclimated. Your energy field has become accustomed to those stones. So, do you need to cover them? No, probably not. They are what they are. Now, in a gemstone therapy practice, would I want to cover them in case my family or friends come over and, gee, I don't want them to get the gemstone energies? Well, why? Sorry, I'm getting distracted by other questions. Let me just focus here. If your gemstones are out, or even if they're in a cabinet like mine, and I have people come down into my studio and subconsciously they're connecting with one of the stones, I mean, I'm okay with that. I really am, because again, it's that sense of generosity. The earth is so generous. Even when we abuse her, she continues to give us all this stuff we rely on for our lifestyle and for our health. She just continues to give and give, and she receives through us. Yeah, we have a symbiotic relationship with the earth. She does benefit from us. Remember, I talked about the central channel, right? As heaven energy comes in, some of it also reaches down into the earth. If we have a good earth connection, so the healthier we are, the more symbiotic we are with the earth. So I'm going off track. So we're talking about, what was the question? About being can too many gemstones together in a gemstone shop, cause problem? I don't think so. No, if they're all in a shop, are they going to be clashing with each other? It's kind of like when you go into a crowded audience. Well, you're watching a show, or you're there for some reason. You're all together. You're all unique individuals. There's 50,000 of you maybe, or 5,000 or 5, whatever. But you all get along because your one purpose is to be together to do something, to watch the concert. The gems are all in the shop together to find their forever owners. If you're a gemstone shop owner, you may feel like I do, that you're really running an adoption service, trying to find the right companions for your stones. When will you update another 1 hour long gemstone treatment demonstration? Oh my goodness, you guys really like those, don't you? Oh, maybe I will. Yeah, okay. I'll put it on the to-do list. When you say the jade wants to be on your left wrist, or when you are using sprays, how do you know where? What are you feeling? What are you feeling that tells you where the necklace or sprays are? Oh, okay. Yeah. So when let's see, can I take these off? Sure, I'll take this one off. So in the morning when I'm wondering what I should be wearing, and I get a sense. Say this one calls out for me. This is called My Ally. And because it's really good when you're kind of feeling a little under the weather. Good ally. You can just bring it toward yourself and it calls right in. It draws right into me. Comes right in, like almost like a magnet. My body's saying, gimme, gimme, gimme. I want this. As opposed to if you do this technique and you get a cushion or even a push away, you know your body doesn't want it. Another thing that you can do, and in fact, this is what the individual who maybe with the citrine that I talked about earlier, she can get accustomed to the necklaces just by holding them like this. And I swear I'm not making this move. I'm holding my hands as still as I possibly can. And I am going to prove this one of these days that yes, that your body's energies can make necklaces or gemstones move when your body wants them. So this is definitely beginning to move. So that's how I know that this is going to be good for me. And when I say, well, the gemstone wants to be on my left wrist or wants to be on my right, if I know this is a gemstone that I want to wear, I might go, okay, well, do I want to wear it? Where's my body's energy sending it? Well, now my body's energy is sending it here. So I know I want to wear it as a necklace. But when I do that with the jade, and I do it so fast because I'm used to doing it, I just pick up the stone and I know it just draws, boom, right to my wrist. So I know. And when that happens, it's usually because there's another necklace that needs more core support, and that wearing on the wrist is going to give me more of a peripheral support. I take these really seriously, and I choose the stones, or they choose me. It's really hard to say, but there's this symbiotic relationship, and they both come together, and it just makes me feel good. It makes me feel like it eases the symptoms. It helps me get through my day. Like today, I had a lot to do today, and without these stones, I might have just spent the day in bed. You know, I've just been doing a lot of traveling, and it was kind of wearing on me. But yeah. And then I got my diamond out and was playing with that for a while. This one just caught my eye. Can animals benefit from gemstone therapy? Cats, dogs, and other pets? Yes. Oh my goodness. When I give sessions to people, they'll often report that their dogs or their cats will come into the room, and it's as though, and they'll snuggle up. It's as though they're receiving the work, and then they'll just leave when they're done. Working on animals, I've had a lot of success with that. Oh yeah, in fact, they are so sensitive to the work, sometimes even more than we are. And think about it, when the storm is coming, your cat's gonna go hide under the house, or your dog's gonna start acting funny. They know before it gets cloudy outside that there's a big storm coming. So they're more connected to the earth than we are for most people. So this ties into another question, because horses are also receptive to gemstone energy. Cows are also receptive to gemstone energy. Now, where does leather come from? Sorry to make that bridge. So we have a question of, well, if you wear leather or silk, does that shield you from gemstone energy? Well, I don't have any experience with leather, except for shoes maybe. But I do have experience with silk. And for me, when I'm wearing silk, I feel a little more protected. There is a history of silk being used as armor among the Mongolians. They used very thickly woven silk. It was lightweight, and their armor was more effective than the metal armor of their adversaries. So there's a history of silk being used as protection. However, the thing about spheres is that they radiate their energies throughout your field, and the body is able to take a gemstone sphere energy and moderate it. That's one of the big benefits of using spheres versus using a raw crystal in healing work. A raw crystal, the body has to take it because the movement of the energy through the crystal is directional and it's insistent. With a sphere, if I'm covered from here to my feet in silk, I'm still going to get the energy in through my head and my hands, or maybe my arms. The energy is still going to come in and is radiating throughout my field. I'm not just my physical body. If my physical body is wearing silk, I feel more protected from unwanted energies, especially if I'm in crowds. But if I'm wearing the stones, I'm still getting the benefit. Absolutely. It's feeding my field. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. So how do I get started on level 1 training? And then there was another one, just back up a second. What does a level 1 practitioner learn? What does a level 2 practitioner learn? Level 1 practitioner learns the Gemstone Therapy session protocol, and that's the framework for all of the gemstone work that's done in the session. And because the gemstones are so powerful when used with the system that I teach, it's very important to have a graceful beginning, a trust where you build trust and permission with your client, and a meaningful middle where they're really getting some work done, and then a graceful closure, so that we spend a lot of time with integration. How many times have you come out of an energy healing session and you're not even sure if you can drive home? You might be a little spacey, or you're really tired. I have, out of a chiropractor's office. So when it was so important to me when bringing out this work again, that there would be a system to allow people to be fully alert when they leave. So that's the Gemstone protocol. You also learn, just moving along quickly here, how to do energy extractions. If there's unwanted energies rooted in the body, how to extract those. How to work with what we call mini gemandalas, which is a way to really get to know the individual stones and how they work with you. Custom mandalas. I'm reading here because I sometimes forget. How to identify holes in your aura, or also swelling in your aura, and how to correct that. And how to nourish, really focus on nourishing your emotions, your memory, your mind, and your intuition. Really focus on nourishing. If you're able to do that and make the custom mandalas for people, you can really have a good gemstone therapy practice. How much does that cost? I'd say around $15,000 to have a good inventory of stones to do that. Level 2, we learned 8 protocols that can make a huge difference in someone's life. And these are sophisticated ways to use the gemstones and applying them on a person. Very specific ways to deal with target areas like a shoulder or an elbow or the heart or the liver or any specific point on the body. Also life issues. How do you work with an issue like finance? There's no target area. Well, we know how to work with that. Working with the systems, the respiratory system, sensory system, digestive system. There's a way to work specifically with the systems. Advanced energy clearing at levels of manifestation. We have found with gemstones, we can single out the atomic level, the molecular level, the cellular level, organ system, the whole body level, and your whole being. So the thing is, you can do all this healing work at the organ level, which is where you live. But if the source of that disharmony is at the emotional level or at the molecular level, that condition is going to keep coming back. So the idea is we have a way to bring those levels up on the surface so we can treat them directly, and then that helps ease the cause so it doesn't come back. So how do you register for level 1 training? You just go to our website, and there's a way to register that also connects you with a mentor who can work through that with you. Or you can email education@gemformulas.com. Could you detail any caveats to using sprays that are extra strength? Like we have the extra strength energy clearing. A little goes a long way, and particularly extra strength energy clearing, I find it's really good for rooms. When you use the regular strength energy clearing, it can take a lot more spray than just than the extra strength when you're clearing spaces like your car, your treatment room, your office, your bedroom, under your bed. Yeah, different places like that. So just use less. I guess that would be what I would say. Oh, thank you for all your kind comments. Well, thank you so much. Oh, hello from Peru. Thank you so much. Okay, can you tell me why my Moldavite disappeared? Did it not want to belong to me? Okay, you know what? You're not alone. I can't explain this, but gemstones have a way of disappearing, but then they also reappear. And I don't know why this happens, but if you asked any of my customers, they could tell you stories, some really amazing stories about how their necklaces disappeared and then came back, sometimes in different places. I had an apatite necklace. We make apatite into what we call core 4, and my husband found it gardening. The only thing I can think of was that, and it was very worn. Apatite's a very soft gemstone, and I had lost it for over a year. I think I might have put it outside to get some clear in the sun, and then a critter must have picked it up and taken it, maybe buried it. Okay, I don't know. I think there's a lot of lessons involved in that, but do try to connect with the stone and open a conversation with it, even in your own consciousness, and try to figure out, well, what's the lesson here? What is it trying to communicate? Is it trying to say, well, yeah, it was too much? Was I not using the stone correctly? And I wish you all the best in finding your baby back. I feel for you. Are there any stones that have a special affinity with therapy diamonds, and are there some that do not? I have not met a gemstone that didn't like a diamond. The diamond is just so universal. The diamond works with the whole being level. That means it's the sum total of all of you. And as far as I know, it's the only stone that works with the whole being, at the whole being level directly, is diamond. Diamond encompasses it all. So diamond, we have a special track if people are called to diamond and they think, well, maybe I don't have so much of an affinity with the stones, but I'm really called to diamond, because people are really called to diamond. It happens. So we have a training track that's just focuses on diamond, but eventually you'll realize how symbiotic they are and that they work really well together. Yeah. Okay. Just out of interest, what's your stream setup? What cam are you using? We just set up the YouTube live. And I'm using my Mac and my webcam. And isn't this cool? This is the first time I've done this. And thank you to Ryan for setting this up for me. So thank you so much. How long have you been interested in gemstones? Can you share your gemstone background? Oh my. Well, if you want the long story, you can read my book, Accepting Destiny. It's on Amazon. So just go to Amazon. You can type in either my name, Isabelle Morton, or you can type in Accepting Destiny and you will find my story. That gives you all the details. But yes, I began in the late 1980s with the Stones, and with my divorce, we built a company with my first husband, and at my divorce, I just wanted to let go of it all. Yeah, and I did. I had some healing to do. I had to fully accept my destiny, and so here I am. And so happy to be back. I mean, when you find what it is that you love to do, you just, okay. Is there such a thing as a gemstone healing emergency? Like, have you ever felt someone's aura and thought, holy moly, this person's needs such a gemstone stat? Well, first of all, this is permission-based. And I would not look unless I was given permission. And that usually only happens in a gemstone therapy session. I really respect people's space, because without trust, then the body isn't going to reveal what's going on. So I am such a big stickler for trust and permission at every step of a session, every step of the way. That's so important for me. Yes, gemstones. Oh my goodness, I'm going to talk fast. Once I stubbed my toe so badly that I knew it was broken. And the next day I had appointments all day in New York City. I had to be on my feet. And using the level 2 protocols, I spent about an hour, maybe even more, just working on myself. No swelling. I got no pain. Well, yeah, there was pain, but the pain went away and I was able to do all my appointments. What's the best crystal to improve libido? That's a big question, because it's usually has to do with a blockage somewhere in the body. There's a blockage, and it's not like, oh well, here's a gemstone for this. It's a lot bigger picture. Symptom is just the tip of an iceberg. The cause is that unseen portion. It's the energetic portion of the iceberg. So what I tell people when they ask me, well, what stone do I need for this or that? I say, well, what stone calls to you? Which one are you attracted to? Take a look at our site. Take a look at our catalog, and then flip through until you find one that says, oh, just catches your attention. Because if you uplift your whole body, you're going to take care of all the little symptoms. What gemstones do is they help your body heal itself. And that's the whole thing. Because your body knows how to heal, and the gemstones are there to help you do it. They provide the resources to help you heal. They help you move energy, because you're supposed to be moving energy. Remember, you got to keep that energy moving so that your body can stay healthy. Yeah. We call power stone for gemstone in Japanese. Do you think that is appropriate? All stones have a hidden power. Does the center of a person's toroid always flow from the feet upward, or can it also flow from the head down toward the feet? Yes, that's the two toroids. You have a yang field and you have the yin field. The yang field is your toroid. You know what the toroid is? If you look at pictures of the Earth's magnetic field, it's going to be like a stretched donut. We have that same toroid around our whole body, or it should be around our whole body. Okay? If it's healthy, that's the yang toroid. It moves energy up from the earth and then around and down. Inside that is the yin toroid. It brings heaven energy down and then around and up from the earth. That's the yin toroid. You need both to have a good balance of masculine and feminine, yin and yang. Oh, it's 9 o'clock. Oh my goodness. Well, we're going to have to do this again. I thought this was a lot of fun. Thank you for all of your kind words. I am so touched. I'm so touched, and for all of your questions. That was so interesting. And thank you, Deborah, for supporting me with the comments. Again, Deborah, I'm going to give her a little shout out. She's an excellent practitioner, and she has a workshop August 4th, 5th, and 6th in Lakewood, Colorado. It's the Gem 101 workshop. It's for self-therapy and learning how to work with others. You'll learn energy awareness. You'll work with the healing gems. You'll learn how to do mini gemandalas, custom gemandalas, unwanted energy extractions, energy clearings, aura nourishing, and being able to find the holes in your aura and fix them. Highly recommend that you go visit her workshop. She's an awesome instructor. And gosh, thank you so much. Yeah. Oh, hi, Nicholas. Thanks for attending. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Gosh. Okay, everyone. Well, until next time, have a wonderful day. And may the earth be with you. Good night.